Good morning. This live is to address two topics at hand. The first topic is concerning a local issue of Coppers Cove, Texas, with the Texas Department of Transportation and with the local Coryell County concerning the walkway on Avenue B. The particular walkway that I'm speaking about is at a local high school on a very busy street at the time that high schoolers with disabilities and without disabilities are crossing an intersection. Pedestrians also use this particular walkway. It is color-coded, as most walkways are. And within the last, I would say, 17 to 18 months, on numerous occasions, parents and residents and just the local community have been concerned enough when children, high schoolers with disabilities, physical disabilities, have crossed that walkway when they are released from school, have stopped and helped these students to cross that walkway. The several residents of this county, this particular city, Coppers Cove, Texas, they have spoken to local authorities about providing crossing guards, providing a walkway countdown. And when I came home last week, I had this letter here from the Texas Department of Transportation. Now, we've already addressed the city of Coppers Cove several times, but I'm going to read this letter to you because I personally appealed their decision in Austin and Waco concerning these children, because vehicles do not slow down for these physically disabled children to cross a local walkway. And this is what the Texas Department of Transportation said to me. Ms. Fernandez, thank you for expressing your interest in pedestrian safety and for reaching out to the Texas Department of Transportation. The current facility you cite is ADA compliant and has all the typical features of the crossing. Okay, the current facility. Okay, they are stating here that they are meeting the minimum of the ADA regulations for the high school students of Coppers Cove, Texas. Crossing guards can be utilized at this location, which can be requested through the city. And it says, thank you very much, Jack Smith. Well, here's the problem. This has already been questioned to the local government. What is concerning to a lot of parents in this western district of this county is there are adults also who use that crossway and they have physical disabilities and they have mobile devices. And because individuals do not have enough consciousness to stop and allow these children, high schoolers, and adults to cross, many of the residents are concerned that someone is going to get hurt or ultimately killed. So I am making this portion of this video for a channel that I have. It's called Cove Warning. And I am asking the mayor and the council people before Wednesday, take in consideration that I have done everything by the book. I've attended the meetings. I've contacted Austin. I've contacted the State Department of Transportation in consideration of the ADA compliance. My next step next week to ensure the safety of that crosswalk is to go to the news media. So I'm going to call on Monday once again and go in person to our local area so that we can at least get a crosswalk 4 hours a day, especially for our disabled high schoolers with mobility issues, to safely cross that crosswalk. The least that the city can do is provide a crosswalk individual to assist these students. In addition to that, we have an overwhelming amount of volunteers in our city, of retirees who would be willing to give up 4 hours of their time during any day to assist with protecting the disabled children crossing at that high school area. We do not need to allow vehicles to come by, hit a child with a disability, a mobile disability, and cause them further injuries. So this video is going to be cross-referenced over to Code Warning, which is a local channel. And by Wednesday, I will have everything together, and I will approach local media so that we can get some type of assistance for these students. The next issue I have is concerning a national community database that is removing missing child's flyers up on their platforms. It is called Next Door Neighbor. Now, I also received a letter yesterday from the Next Door Neighbor Association. Next Door Neighbor, you have removed 120 FBI Amber Alerts nationally from your national platform. In your guidelines, you state that you support local law enforcement, national law enforcement, and state law enforcement public flyers for any missing person. I do believe that the FCC department is going to be very interested in you removing FBI Amber Alerts nationally for children and adults who are missing. There is no excuse in that. When you are allowing flyers up for car washes, for livestock auctions, but you refuse to allow a public Amber Alert for local children and adults who are missing nationally, all the way from California, San Diego, to New York, or even Maine. You are taking down these posters as quickly as family members can put them up on social media platform. Your platform. You are taking down Amber Alerts that are put out by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. How are family member victims going to locate their missing children or their missing loved one, adult or child, if you do not follow your own guidelines, regulations, and rules? So, nextdoorneighbor.com I find it very appalling that you are taking down Amber Alerts. I also find it very interesting that your local groups are not supporting to facilitate the acknowledgement that missing individuals are important in our society. We've had a year of campaigning by mail with your organization. We have nationally put up Amber Alerts. We have addressed you in written formation. And now, since we have tried to handle this internally with your company, now we are going to get the FCC involved. Because the Federal Bureau of Investigation is our national organization of law enforcement that issue rewards and the Amber Alerts. Your facility, nextdoorneighbor.com, will not even allow the National Missing Organization for Children to put up information on your next door neighbor website. You as an organization are going against your own guidelines for every community in America. You are not providing services, community services, for any area in the United States. When you take down an FBI white and red flyer of any ethnicity group based on the prejudices of your own volunteers within a community, there's something wrong with the internal discipline of your own facility. Now, we have quietly addressed this for over a year now, and this has become a national problem with your organization. So now that we have tried to handle this internally, now it is time, I guess, for us to handle it in other means. Because, next door neighbor, let me tell you what's really important here. The life of a human being who is missing is more important than livestock being sold at a local fair. The fact that we even paid for a channel. I paid for a channel for the missing, and you still took down those flyers. You stated in an email, well, that goes against our guidelines. I'm sorry, but the FBI flyers for the missing Americans, they're issued because they're truthful. They're missing because an investigation took place and that individual is missing. A flyer represents a human being's life. A missing person's flyer represents a victim's family. And your organization has appalling discrimination and prejudice towards individuals who are missing. You are not a positive community representative for the missing. And we will be addressing this further to higher authorities. I'm not going to give you any more opportunities to take down missing persons flyers, regardless of the missing person's color, ethnicity, economic state, or their family member's position in society. It does not matter. What matters is that missing person has validation from the FBI and local law enforcement authorities that they are missing. It is a valid piece of paper. And your non-endorsement based upon the FCC regulations is wrong. And I'm asking you one last time to take in consideration nationally what you have done, what you are doing in local communities to family members concerning their missing loved ones. Your legal department and your board members need to consider this. If your loved one was missing and your parents or your wife or your husband had a flyer of your missing loved one, would you want it put on a local social media platform within your own community? I assure you, you would. And for your organization not to consider every American's life important is disgusting. Take note, next door neighbor, that the issues will be brought up, not just in Texas, but nationally, because what you're allowing to happen nationally concerning the missing American children and the missing adults, regardless of their ethnicity and their economic status, will be addressed. So I ask you once more, even if we have to pay for the website, it doesn't matter. I'll pay it. I paid it before. You need to rethink putting back up those missing flyers. Because right now you're being discriminative to a missing person. Many missing persons throughout the United States. Thank you for your time and consideration in addressing and listening to a national organization who is taking down, who is not allowing official FBI flyers to be posted in communities throughout the United States for missing individuals. The FBI is a noted legal organization. We all know who the FBI is. They're not some fly-by-night organization. Their Amber Alerts are real. Their Amber Alerts are valid. The people on those flyers are really missing. And we need to take in consideration that these organizations are governed by federal law to put up Amber Alerts. Lives matter. Time matters. Stop being so selfish for money and have consideration for the lives of those who are missing. Thank you. Have a good day.